Hello, vinyl community. I'm back again to do another recent vinyl spins, and the first album I have to show. Again, I have to thank DJ Legion. It's the new Metallica, Hardwired to Self-Destruct. There's been 100 videos or more just talking about this album. Do I need to add anything? Can I add anything? Really, no. So, in my opinion, though, I gotta say it's a good return to form. I personally think this is probably their best outing since the Black Album. Is it of Black Album caliber? No, it's not. But you feel like you're getting pummeled, which is great, when you're really in the mood for it, because, man, it is fast, it's aggressive. So, nice to just set. Now, the vinyl, and I gotta give a shout out to Vinyl to CD Rescue, because he also reviewed this album, but he also put in the Dead Wax information. So just to reiterate what he said, if you haven't cut his video, so this was cut by Chris Bellman, so you can tell by the CB and the Dead Wax, and it was pressed at Palace. So the two best, some of the two best combos in the industry today. So it sounds really good. It actually rectifies a mistake for me, which they made with Death Magnetic, which, they just, Death Magnetic was probably the worst case of the loudness wars. And it's scary when, people want to go after a Guitar Hero version of that album just to hear it correctly. But this was, it is fairly loud, but it was reasonably mixed. Chris Bellman, again from Grudman Mastering, knows what he's doing, so the vinyl is definitely worth a pickup if you're a Metallica fan. Next up, and this is going to be a little bit of a mixed bag for this one, is Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions, and this, to me, is like a Mazzy Star record that was not done by Mazzy Star. I mean, with this record, of course, you can't say it's an outright Mazzy Star record. It does go in a little bit different direction towards the end, but this is, acoustic indie pop or dream pop. So if you like Mazzy Star, you're definitely going to be a fan of this record. And Hope Sandoval, I will I will pick up just about anything she does, because I just really like her voice. Now, this one was done by Rainbow. I do not know who cut the lacquers. It says Mark Chalecki at Little Red Book Mastering. I don't know if he has the ability to cut lacquers, but there was no real dead wax marker other than the Rainbow inscription. But yeah, the title track, or not the title track, but the first track, and that plays in this album really grabs you, and it takes you on a nice little journey. So Until the Hunter by Hope Sandoval and the Warm Inventions is really good. Next up is the latest by Vangelis. This is Rosetta. So this was done in conjunction with the European Space Agency, or ESA, and it highlights the mission to the Churyumov-Gerasimenko comet, or 67P as it's known, and it really highlights the Rosetta mission. So the nice thing about the interior is it highlights Rosetta's 10-year mission. And so it did a couple of Earth flybys, it went by Mars, and that was setting up its orbital profile so it could reach the comet here. And it hit a couple of asteroids, but enough of the orbital dynamics and space stuff for you. This is really good Vangelis. Is it of the caliber of Blade Runner? No, it's not quite there, but this is really a satisfying listen. And ESA did a nice documentary they paired up with this, and they talked to a couple of ESA astronauts, And yeah, they did a really good interview with the guy. The vinyl itself was done at Optimal, like I'm showing you here. Optimal's mastering engineers, they use very angular letters, so sometimes you can tell who did it, sometimes you cannot. But the pressing on this was really, really well done. And again, if you like Vangelis, if you like, you know, the ambient type of Vangelis, like the Blade Runner, the 1492, then yeah, definitely give this a listen. It's really good. Next up is probably an artist that most of you probably will not recognize. It is a Dutch 80s artist named Spike Wolters, and this is Orange Cloud 9 by Golf Channel Recordings. This is a comp, so Spike came out with 3 or 4 albums in the early 80s, and he's basically a one-man band. So he uses drum machines, and normally I'm not a big fan of drum machines, and he uses synths, so it has a very 80s feel, but it's the guitar work so that he puts into this, so it's like nice guitar solos intermixed with the drum machines and the synths that he all pieced together within his own home that really makes his albums work. And I just want to play a short clip here so you can hear what it sounds like.
See me? Can you hear me? Do you know it all?
So that's kind of a sample of what Spike sounds like. Now, if you look at the dead wax here, it says RCEREM. This is Rick Essig mastering, and you know, it's not bad. I've had a few records by Rick Essig, but just so you can see the dead wax in the future, that's what it is. I really don't think he's too bad of a mastering engineer. So that's Spike. Definitely worth picking up. It's not an expensive album by any means, and you know, some of the originals from the 80s, yeah, they're of interest to the collector, so they command a premium on the back issue market. Now, the last one, I gotta thank Helmut Diggy, because I was aware of the artist, and it is just a guy that does Iron and Wine. But this is the EP Woman King. This was put out by Sub Pop, and don't know who mastered it. I don't know who pressed it. You know, I assume there was a smaller plant that pressed these. So people ask me, well, why don't you cover God of Groove? Well, God of the Groove, I think, in terms of quantity of pressing, they're probably doing one-time orders. I don't even know if they have a plating facility. I don't think they do. So, you know, there's no inscriptions in the dead wax. So a lot of these smaller plants, it's hard to tell who did it because they don't put anything there. But this was really good. I mean, it's indie pop. It's acoustic. I really enjoyed it throughout. So, Bill, thank you very much. I'm going to be digging into the Iron and Wine catalog. I recommend it if you like the folk indie pop stuff. This was really a satisfying listen. So that's what I have for this recent vinyl spins. Do you guys like what I featured? I know this is kind of a diverse mix. If you do, shoot me a comment down below if you thought it all sucks. shoot me a comment down below. And thank you for watching.